My name is Reza Kazemi, and I'm going to speak about the situation in Germany. But to understand the situation in Germany and what's going to happen with Europe, we have to take a deeper look into the systems. AfD, which is a right-wing populist party, right-wing populist, has been elected in 2016. In 2016, the election was about concerns, about fears. The concerns of the people was the refugees. So refugee crisis was the key of victory of the AfD, the alternative for Germany. And the political parties in Germany, they had a problem with leadership. Leadership is one key of the victory. Another key of the victory is message. And the political big parties, the Volkspartei, they didn't have a message. The AfD, they had a message. Refugees are the problem. So, if you want to do a campaign, if you want to win elections, you need to have a message. And another key of the victory is voters, as people, as humans. Because candidate is a human, press people are human, volunteers are human, voters, it's all about humanity. So, take your message out, build a political machine, and go and speak with the people. You need to get on the ground and do all the techniques we have discussed about. Take all the messages that we developed to point out the crisis of the society. And talking about society, understanding what is the problem in Europe or in Germany, we have found 6 or 7 different factors which were interesting to people. The first one is inconsistency. We have an accelerating change in our societies. And if we have a change, if nothing is the same anymore, we have unclarity. And this unclarity causes insecurity for the people. What's going to happen next? What's coming in the next 5 or 10 or 15 years? What happens if refugees come to Germany? That was a question out of the perception of many people. And if politicians do not point out this message, they're perceived as incompetent. And by perceiving political elites, business elites, media as incompetent, this will rise up unhappiness, protests. And I'm going to show you what happened in the regional elections of Germany and who's going to win the elections in September of 2017. So, understanding the situation in Europe, we have had not only refugee crisis, but before a financial crisis in the United States, which led to a public debt crisis because the different governments, they tried to stop it. And so the public debt in the European Union raises up to 30%. And this led to a European crisis, which then was followed by the refugee crisis. And the refugee crisis did not start in Germany or Austria. It was 2 years ago in Italy and Greece in 2013. And in 2015, we have seen the effects in Germany. I was traveling between Germany and Austria because I was doing 2 regional elections in Austria. And I was seeing the refugees on the trains. Every week were full of refugees. Uncontrolled, coming to Germany, people were seeing that. And then in May or June of 2015, the media and the politicians, the parties jumped on this topic and said, okay, we might have a problem. But the problem was there, people could see it. And these are the pictures. So, if you take a look, this is the Munich main station. So many people coming through Hungary, through Austria to Germany. And we have had different reactions on this. One group was saying, refugees are welcome. The AfD or the FPÖ in Austria, they would say, close the borders. Even some crazy politicians in Germany said, shoot the refugees. Others, the Green Movement, they brought the children water, food, and teddy bears. But also we have had a right-wing populist, right extremist populist movement of the AfD who said Merkel is the bad person. She has to go. This AfD movement, to explain you what is this? AfD started as a Euro-critic party, and was founded by Professor Lucke, who was a Eurosceptic. He was not right-wing populist, but he was criticizing the European Union and wanted to get rid of the euro. Then he was kicked out of the party by right-wings, which is Frau Lucke and Professor Martin. They kicked the founder of the party out, and more nationalistic people came inside. And even in Austria, we have heard it yesterday, we have had a very close race between the presidential race. So we say here, Norbert Hofer, which is right-wing populist from the FPÖ, and on the right side, Alexander Van der Bellen, who was the Green candidate. President in Austria hasn't much power, but you can see that almost 50% a head-to-head race was going to vote for a right-wing. But the Green ones managed to win with 51% of the votes. What's going to happen in Germany? We have two candidates, which is Martin Schultz and Angela Merkel. Merkel was in power since 2005. Martin Schultz has been a politician since many years. He was active in the European Union, but he was never perceived in Germany as a politician. Europe is far away from us. So this is Martin Schultz and Angela Merkel. But what is the situation of Angela Merkel? Will she win the elections or not? So, to understand this, we have to know that Merkel's party in Bavaria and Merkel's party in Germany, they're two different parties, CDU and the CSU. And the CSU is trying to attack Angela Merkel, which weakens her positions in Germany. But on the other side, we have a weak Social Democratic Party, the SPD. So if you would have asked me 3 months ago who will win the next national elections, I would say that Martin Schulz will win. But we will have we have seen 3 regional elections in Germany. Let me jump the slides because I have only 2 minutes left. So, we have had 3 regional elections in Schleswig-Holstein, North Rhine-Westphalia, and Saarland. And Martin Schulz caused a real hype. He was very popular. People on the internet started to make pictures for him, and everybody thought that he was going to win the elections. He had a short time of 50% of popularity, which was 1 or 2% more than Angela Merkel. But then the conservatives managed to build up an image. They had a message. If you're going to elect the Social Democrats, they will make a coalition with the leftists and the Green, and then communism is coming. So they won all the elections in these 3 states. You can see the SPD lost 3%, 1%, and they had a minister president who had to resign, Schleswig-Holstein. They lost Saarland. You can see here 7.9% loss in Schleswig-Holstein. And even North Rhine-Westphalia, this was one of the most popular minister presidents for the last years that we had in Germany. She had to resign because of the massive loss in one of the strongest regions of Germany. And an unknown politician, Armin Laschet, he is now the winner of these elections. But to cut it short, I will show you the trend. You see here, the SPDs, the Social Democrats, they're losing popularity. And the CDU also, but the small parties are rising up. And if you take a look at the voter travelings, the Social Democrats are losing to AFD and to CDU, and the non-voters are going to AFD and CDU. And I think this is the most interesting slide for you. We have to break it down, and I will show you this one as the last slide. What's going to happen? 2 months ago, I would have said Merkel has no chance to be a chancellor anymore. It will maybe be Martin Schultz in a coalition with the Liberals and the Greens. But now, having seen 3 regional parliaments, which have a big influence in Germany, they are run by the Conservatives, and this is why the most probable situation will be that the Conservatives will make a coalition with the Liberals or with the Social Democrats. But in that case, maybe Martin Schultz has to step in line. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.